The NCAA released new NIL temporary guidelines yesterday that actually give programs the opportunity to have their hand a little bit more in name, image, and likeness. But I think a lot of stuff's been going on for years, so I just thought I'd throw this idea out there, this question to you guys to start today's show. With NIL being a bigger part of college football, and now we'll talk about next week maybe what those new rules are that would allow Jim Harbaugh to recommend an NIL deal to the fans to donate to, etc. Historically, or even right now, whatever you want to take it, which of these programs is the dirtiest, right, when it comes to things like recruiting and paying players and anything like that in college football? If it's Alabama, go down and type in the comments, not like a type 1 program, but I'm saying comment 1 down there for Alabama. If you think it's LSU, 2, give me a 3 if it's Ohio State, 4 in the comments if it's Georgia. If it's another program, some that we just kind of thought about that could have been on this list, Texas A&M, Clemson, USC, Tennessee, Ole Miss, any of those schools, let me know. Hey, if you're a hater and you say Michigan, go ahead and type Michigan down there as well. We have got a lot to talk about around the Donovan Edwards controversy and other things related to Michigan and Michigan State, all coming up in the show right now. Today's show is sponsored by Mint Mobile. Get wireless coverage nationwide as low as $15 a month. Go to mintmobile.com/chatsports. Let's start off the show with I guess the real portion of the show. We started off with the dirtiest program, but the post-intro video part of the show with a predict the score, Michigan State. Which video am I getting my score prediction on, Jack? Is that tomorrow or is that Saturday? I can't remember. We're going to put out a video Saturday morning, so I will put my official game day score prediction out on towards the end of the day on Saturday, or towards the end of the video on Saturday morning's video. But you guys, give me some hints, all right? Let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comments. Michigan State, predict the score down below. You are watching the Michigan Football Report, the most talked about, the best designed, and I guess most influential show of any form, podcast, YouTube, television, radio, in the entire world, covering Jim Harbaugh's Wolverines, number 4 in the country, 7-0, heading into the Michigan State championship game on Saturday night. And we're going to start the show with a little bit of talk about something that I just think is a complete just a topic I don't have much interest in talking about, but it became so deafening on the internet this afternoon as we're filming this right around 4:15 p.m. Eastern time, about 2-3 hours ago. Donovan Edwards retweeted this tweet, right? And it says, I'm going to zoom in and I'll look at my screen down here because the TV is about 6 feet away with this on that I'm looking at. Jewish people will literally tell you that they want you to kill your own and humiliate your women simply because they have children to feed. Now, it was along with a video that had Kanye West in it and some other people. I didn't watch the video, but Donovan Edwards, as you see across the top of the screen, where is it right there, he retweeted it. And then he unretweeted it within, I guess, a matter of less than an hour. I'm not actually sure how long it was out there. But he did also tweet out this, right? And so this was early on this morning, but it didn't really start to pick up around the internet until this afternoon when Fox News and Outkick and then, just rag trash websites like, The Comeback and Awful Announcing and places like that started to roll with it. He says the retweet was a glitch. Whether or not that's true, right? I'll give some people some credit out there on the internet. There was a lot of people saying, well, to retweet something, you have to press retweet and then confirm retweet. So, well, that's a glitch. I'm not going to make that decision, right? He says he knows what's in his heart. He is unequivocally against racism, exploitation, and oppression of all forms, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, some people are calling out that he said, well, he didn't say sorry, but, if he claims that he didn't actually do it or mean to do it, then what would he be sorry for? But this entire controversy was perpetrated by this guy, Ace Anbender. You might remember Ace Anbender. He was the leader of the cesspool known as MGoBlog, one of the, frankly, most disgusting, despicable message board communities in all of the internet. The stuff that I've seen that people talk about on there, you want to talk about sexist, racist, and things like that, go check out some MGoBlog. And Ace has had some trouble over the years, right? Let's kind of go back. One, he has lost his sports writing career with MGoBlog. He was fired for being too political. He also then was claiming as a 30-year-old man with multiple roommates, he wrote an entire letter about how he went back to his gay roommates bedroom one night to smoke marijuana and was caught off guard and was sexually assaulted when his gay roommate tried to kiss him when they went to a closed-door marijuana smoking session at 2 in the morning, and he was claiming he was a victim of sexual abuse. Then he went on to say, this is Ace Anbender, not Donovan Edwards, he went on to raise $100,000 by saying he had some debilitating disease that prevented him from work from the Michigan community, got all kinds of people to support him. I'll go help this guy. Follow that up by tweeting out all the expensive equipment and things he was buying over the next several months after that, and then subsequently blocked apparently over 3,000 people who called him out saying, hey, I donated $100 so you could pay your medical bills, not so you could be putting together big studios and buying a new car and all this stuff. The guy is just a complete scumbag. Everything he does is to try and claim victimhood or point the finger at somebody that they're the bad guy to kind of deflect away from all his shortcomings as a human being and as a professional, which maybe people think he was a good writer, but I think his shenanigans and just his overall attitude online always made me not like him. And now what is he trying to do? He's called after his tweet out of that screenshot and everything like that, which got picked up by Fox News and Outkick and all these people. It's like Harbaugh should suspend him, shouldn't let him play in the game on Saturday, okay? Even if Donovan Edwards does think this, and I'm not saying he does, even if he hates Jewish people, even if he wants to support Kanye West and everything that's about in that controversy, Is he amplifying Kanye West, one of the top 5 or 10 celebrities in the world, any more than he was? And is there a victim here that is the Michigan State team filled with so many Jewish players that they won't even be able to handle being on the field with Donovan Edwards? I don't think anything of those things are true. And we saw Alabama football player last week, which I don't agree with, that actually assaulted a young girl on the field after the Tennessee game. I think Twitter fingers don't necessarily result in a cancellation. Ace Anbender, the all-time cancel king, tries to get everybody canceled for anything they do, goes back and pulls up tweets from kids from 10 years ago, all this different stuff when they go to the NBA. That's the kind of guy he is. So if you see this out there, Donovan Edwards, hope you don't mean to be anti-Jewish by any means, but if you do, learn from it and go play a football game on Saturday and learn from the mistake that you potentially made, but make sure you don't let guys like Ace Anbender who have nothing better to do than to try and take down teenage boys for potential mistakes they made online. Don't let him get you down because he is a complete bum and a loser. All right, on to more fun things to talk about because Ace Anbender, just give me some hand sanitizer. Okay, hand sanitizer. Yeah, I feel disgusting. I'll lick it because I just want to talk about that guy. Michigan's officially promoting their Blue Out. You see this bad boy. It's from Swanky Wolverine on the internet streets. He put this together a while back. Michigan put out social media stuff early Thursday, late Wednesday as well, with Mikey Sainristil saying, go blue and wear blue. So I don't think they've officially called it a blue out, but this is what we're hoping that Michigan Stadium looks like on Saturday night. Wear your blue on Saturday. Michigan is promoting that, so you are expected to wear blue when you enter that stadium. Today's show is sponsored by Mint Mobile. Start saving today at mintmobile.com/chatsports. I've had one of the major, legacy wireless carriers for years, and I'm spending with myself and wife, and we've got our YouTube TV we had on there. My bill every month was $250, $275. You toss on insurance, all this different stuff. I took my existing phone, my existing number, and I switched to Mint Mobile where I got unlimited talk and text, high-speed internet, nationwide coverage, and I am saving, and I'm not joking here, hundreds of dollars a month. I took my existing phone, didn't even have to wait for a SIM card to come. I used their eSIM process where I just used an eSIM card and got going, ported my number over to Mint Mobile, have not seen a single glitch in the coverage. Haven't been to Michigan Stadium to see if they're working there yet. They weren't necessarily, nobody was back in September around that stadium, but I bet Mint will be one of the first ones to have coverage in Michigan Stadium. You can get started, save hundreds with premium unlimited wireless with Mint Mobile. Go to mintmobile.com/chatsports. Comment, or the link is down in the comments and the description of today's video. What to watch for on Saturday night? Mel Tucker's game plan, from what we've been told, revolves around starting hot on offense. This Spartans team is expected to have 2 or 3 drives scripted that they think can give them a chance to start hot, score 10 to 14, 13 points. They want maybe 2 touchdowns or a touchdown, a field goal, or something like that in those first 3 drives in the first quarter to scare the bejesus out of Michigan. What happens at Michigan State? We're almost at the end of the first quarter. Let's say they're up 14-3, 14-7. It's happened to Michigan teams in the past. It's happened in this rivalry in the past. So that is the game plan. They will sell out to stop the run of Michigan on offense. And I think what needs to happen there is Jim Harbaugh needs to make some on-the-fly game changes that we'll continue to talk about in our segment now, talking Michigan State, what to watch for. Now, you saw what Michigan State plans to do, at least if our information is accurate. And I don't have Mel Tucker's phone tapped like I do Jim Harbaugh's, according to the crazies on the internet. But what I think their best shot of winning and beating Michigan on Saturday night is on the arm of this erratic but sometimes accurate strong arm passer of Peyton Thorne. Thorne. He is 136 of 208, which is about 65% passing for the year, 1,500 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. He can make some passes, and we saw Michigan State take advantage of Michigan making Michigan's shoddy secondary in 2020. They beat the Wolverines downfield all day, but this isn't 2021, folks. Kenneth Walker is not walking through that door, okay? What Michigan needs to do is force Michigan State to run the ball, right? I'll talk about in a later show, I think it's on Friday, tomorrow's show, I'll talk about my keys to the game and keys to victory for Michigan, but one of the big ones that they need to do is force Michigan State to run, because Kenneth Walker in his 5 touchdowns from last year's game, he's on to the Seattle Seahawks. He's having a nice start to his rookie year. He's not walking through that door. And the Wisconsin transfer running back that Michigan State has, he is certainly no Kenneth Walker. Michigan needs to play maybe a little bit of prevent. Stuff them on first down if they try and run. Get them into longer second and third downs, and pin their ears back on the defensive end and blitzing, and make him see ghosts. Who is that from the Jets? What's his name? The quarterback from USC. I can't remember his name. He's on the Panthers now. Sam Darnold, when he played the Patriots a while back, they caught him on the hot mic. I'm seeing ghosts out there. Make Michigan State's quarterback see ghosts. How many passing yards will Peyton Thorne have on Saturday night? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'll kind of give you a quick heads up. In their games most recently, going back to the beginning of the year, most recently Wisconsin, 265, 113 against Ohio State, 221 against Maryland, 132 against Minnesota, 323 in a losing effort at Washington, 212 against Akron, and 233 in the opener against Western Michigan. I'm going to say he's going to have like 275 yards, because I do think that Michigan will be up and they'll be throwing every down in the second half. I'm saying 275 is the number. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Saturday's game has a little bit more importance than maybe your average Michigan State game, because it's the second time this fall and the fourth time in the last 5 months that Jaden Davis is coming to visit Michigan on his own dime. From what everyone is saying out there, and I'm not a big recruiting guy, I don't always try and get sources because these things can be so fluid. 17-year-old kids, 16-year-old kids change their minds so frequently. But what the insiders, the blog boys are saying out there is that it's coming down to a Michigan-Clemson battle. And Clemson's certainly the nearer team, right? He's from North Carolina, Clemson in South Carolina. Here's what he tweeted out about his visit at I am Jaden Davis on Twitter. Ann Arbor, see you this weekend. Go Blue. That's a picture from his visit for the barbecue in the Big House back in July, all decked out in Michigan gear. Remember at the OT7 7-on-7 camp in Vegas this summer, he was rocking Michigan shorts, a Michigan towel. It seems like everything that he has been about publicly has been Michigan, but fourth trip, I'm getting a little nervous. Michigan's going to roll out the red carpet. If he doesn't commit, I might start changing my tone on whether or not he is Michigan's quarterback of the future. Jim Harbaugh's message over the last 2 weeks with the bye week has been to this team, finish them. Harbaugh, in his tenure at Michigan, has had too many instances where they have had the lead or multiple score leads and given up those leads and ultimately lost the game. And none hurt potentially more than couple of his losses versus Michigan State, honestly. The loss last year. Michigan was up 16 points on the road in the third quarter. Go back to 2015. It's like a salt in the wound. It stabbed me in the gut. But Michigan was up. They should have won that game, and they didn't finish them. Michigan's mentality or Michigan's message to this team for 2 weeks from the coaching staff on down has been, don't let up. Do not take the pedal off the metal. Don't, if you're up by 2 scores, don't think the game is over, because this team can come back. Crazier things have happened in this rivalry. And I know a lot of people are out there comparing this to the 2002 game after the controversial 1-second spike where Michigan State spiked the ball, got 1 second back, and then scored in the last play of the game to beat Michigan. The next year at Michigan Stadium, Michigan won 49-3. So go ahead and predict the score in this game, folks. Michigan State on Saturday night. I want to know what you guys are thinking in this game. Asked you at the top of the show, I believe. Didn't we ask at the top of the show? We did, yeah. So one more time, ask you guys to predict the score. I want somebody to get it right. So go ahead and predict. I also want to maybe cheat a little bit and let you guys see what you guys predict, and I'll make my own prediction on Saturday. Continuing on, more of what to watch for in this game. The one thing I am concerned about, as I said a little bit earlier, is the big plays. Michigan cannot allow big passing plays. Michigan State's running game is nothing to call home and bomb about. They've got a couple threats, right? You should be familiar with Jaden Reed. He's been around the block for Michigan State. Him and Keon Coleman make a formidable pass-catching duo, right? 32 catches versus 31. You see that on the screen. Both right under 400 yards. And 8 touchdowns combined. So they're not crazy numbers by any means, but these guys can go deep. They're athletic threats, and if Michigan's caught slipping and sleeping like they were in 2020 when they were favored by 3 touchdowns that year as well, these guys can go deep, and we could be facing a halftime deficit of 10 or 14 points, which I don't think will happen, but nevertheless, that is what we are facing here against Michigan State. Their quarterback, 1,500 yards on the year. He makes some touchdown passes, but he has been prone to turnovers and interceptions. Just going back, he has 7 games this year. He has an interception in 5 of those 7 games and 2 interceptions in 2 of those 5 games. So the only games he didn't have an interception last week in a win versus Wisconsin, and then 3 weeks ago, I guess technically, in a loss at Maryland. This Michigan State offense is one of the worst in the country. 349 yards a game, number 104 nationally out of 130 teams. Passing a little bit better, 242 yards a game. They lost 4 straight games, so they've had to pass a little bit more than they would normally probably, so they're up there, 65. But rushing, force these guys to run the ball, only 106 yards per game, and a scoring as a team. They give up more points than they score. Their defense gives up 27.1. Offense only scores 27 points a game, number 78 in the country. Go ahead and subscribe if you're a Michigan football fan. It's the first time you watch this show, or if you've watched in the past, you'll like what we do. You've yet to hit subscribe. Subscribers equal more potential for audience with YouTube, and you'll always see our content in your feed. Turn on those notifications too. You'll get a little push on your iPhone. Ding, we got a new video. It's youtube.com/MichiganTV. Getting more familiar with these Spartans, look at their schedule. Started off the year with a win at home versus Western Michigan, then a 52-0 win versus Akron. On the road for a loss at Washington. Home for a loss against Minnesota. Lost to Maryland, lost and got dominated by Ohio State. 4 straight losses before pulling out a double overtime win at home a couple weeks ago against Wisconsin. They are now 3-4 on the year, 1-3 in the Big Ten. I will be tweeting out everything you need to know leading up to this game and likely during the game, but I've got some responsibilities. I'll be watching it, of course, but I might not be as active because the whole fam's going to be around and stuff like that Saturday night. But we will have a post-game show. Most likely, we'll have a post-game show. So make sure you follow me on Twitter. It is at James Yoder. I will be back tomorrow with my Michigan football keys to victory, and we'll have a video for you Saturday. So until I see ya, go blue.